Okay. Whatever. I don't even care. I didn't even want to be your friend. Oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm here today because I want to ask you an honest to goodness question. And I think there's going to be quite a few people in the comments who say don't. But I'm still going to ask the question anyways because in my future, in my second life, and that's where I'm at, I'm in my new lifetime. In my second life, I'd like to be friends with all kinds of people, not just one type of person, okay? And as a part of that, maybe, I'd like to be able to, when I'm in the mood to have some religiosity in my life or something, to go and hang out with the old Christians, the old Xmasons, okay? And I'm thinking, it's kind of hard to do that lately, all right? I will admit that I do have these really, really sweet neighbors that recently invited me to go to their church. And the only reason I didn't go is because they are doing like a Spanish translation. And I've got the old ADHDs. And imagine there's someone on the pulpit and they're preaching. And then there's someone right here and they're like, here's the English version of what he's saying. You really think I'm going to be like, no, my brain's going to explode. So I haven't gone with them. But also, if someone invites you to their church, if you're not Christian, you may not know this, but if you are Christian, that means come join my church and stay forever and then join it in like a deeper way and be a participant. And then like, you here now, you in this. Okay. We want to see you at every service. And if we don't, we're probably going to assume you're not a good Christian and we're going to pray for you and make you feel guilty for not coming to our church. Look, I'm not saying that's every church, but I am saying by the nature of the church, that's also kind of like what they're supposed to want, right? Is people to join the congregation. Okay. So I'm very wary about already like going to church. I actually met some Christians last year. Let's just say that they said they were not political, but they talked about politics all the time. And I'm not political. So I just was like, oh, nodding and smiling. But also like, I didn't realize that being friends with Christians that you don't already know, or like that aren't from your same church or congregation or background or denomination was such a challenge. I've really only made Christian friends at church if I've ever been a member of a church or something. But other than that, like, I guess I never realized that there's so many different, not even just denominations, but like subgenres of the denominations, and it just keeps going. I am not a Bible thumping. I recently connected with someone who called all Democrats Demoncrats. And I was just like, you're a really bad Christian. I didn't say that to this person because they're not going to care what I got to say and they're going to be a demon too. Who cares? I just kind of moved on with my life. But in all reality, I wanted to tell them so bad because there was somebody who was new to Christianity in their life and they were influencing them, that spreading that kind of hate and teaching someone that that's appropriate probably isn't a good idea. And then I visited their church and the pastor spent the entire time talking about Lil Nas X's performance, like actually put it on the screen and stuff. And I'm just thinking, where am I? Where am I? And so, yeah, I don't really go to church like that anymore. It's not to say that I wouldn't want to. But this isn't about going to church. This is about making Christian friends, assuming outside of the church. How do I do this? The ones I was talking about that I met, not the Demoncrats one, but the other ones who said they weren't political, but they were political. We had different views on like the rapture. And I didn't think that was a big deal. In fact, I've just always had different views than everyone in life, even outside of Christianity or religion or anything. And I just didn't know that was that big of a deal. Because like 15 years ago, I wasn't, You'd be like, oh, you're this, I'm this. Let's go have a beer. I mean, I didn't drink beer like that, but you get my point. Now it's like, you don't fit exactly into this little tiny box that I've created for myself. Well, you, sir, are a Demoncrat. And all I can think is, I actually really do care about like purpose and stuff like that. And I never knew that if someone was really into the rapture, they don't care about anything but just like, I don't need to do the dishes because I'm going to be raptured up tomorrow. It could happen any moment. Why should I care about anything or anyone else? And I did not know that would rub my spirit the wrong way. But that really hurt me because I just wasn't a Christian and like nice or something. Like, what is happening? So I don't know, man. I don't know how to make friends with Christians nowadays because I feel like you'd have to like walk up to the person and be like, hey, what is your church doctrine? Okay, what do you believe about Jesus? What do you believe about the Trinity? You've got to like go through all these questions. And the thing is, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not the kind of person that's like, hey, I need you to tell me everything about yourself just in case something about your identity is going to piss me off so I will never talk to you again. And I don't even want to go through the trauma of the loss of us not being friends anymore. So go ahead and tell me, like, what's happening? But the truth is that's kind of, I think, what the world is nowadays. I'm not sure. I haven't been out there. Truth be told, if you're not like hardcore MAGA, I do wonder then, is it easy for you to be Christian nowadays? Because I feel like the general populace believes that Christian equals MAGA. I think that's what people think now, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's like, but I'm not political, so I can't be Christian anymore? But I guess then the fear is now if I tell someone I'm Christian that's not a Republican, they're going to think that I hate them, which is like, I don't even know you. I don't think like that, but I mean, you don't know that. And then if they are a Republican, but they're not MAGA, because I think that's a thing, right? I think it's a thing. Then are they going to assume that I am? Or if they're not, does that mean that like I have to like everything that they like or something? I really don't know how this works anymore. See, I would just like be friends with people in like school or just like in life. And then we would all find out like, oh, you're a Christian. Oh, you're a Muslim. Well, you're Jewish. And it would be like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Okay, let's keep on going now. And I feel like that's not possible anymore. And so I guess my question is, if I'm not going to meet Christians at church because I'm looking for a specific type of church, I'm looking for a specific denomination that sorry, gosh, and to be real, like it's actually really important for me to like to practice that certain kind of way in like the religious, right, in the building. Okay. Then where am I going to meet people? The denomination that I'm looking for doesn't really have a lot of people that look like me in it, which means that I'm probably going to still be meeting people who, even if you take out their Christian identity, they've got a bunch of identities that wouldn't like me. And this isn't just coming from like, nobody likes me. I'm just saying I'm learning that because I'm so many different things, everyone hates me. Isn't that crazy? That's a thing now. And yet it's kind of true. It's like, what? You're already hard enough for me to understand, because what are you? Like, what is this, right? But on top of it, now you want to tell me that you don't agree with exactly with what I agree with? This is too much for my brain. I can't do it. You're out of here, And I'm like, whatever. I don't even care. I didn't even want to be your friend. So yeah, I guess I have a question for you. Where do you make Christian friends? And if you're like, first of all, what kind of Christian are you? You should have said this first. Maybe I'll have to cut this and put this at the beginning. What kind of Christian am I? The closest that I can give you, I'm a windy Christian. What is a windy Christian? Like fair weather in the wind? No, I mean like Wendigoon. Do you guys know him? Yeah, Isaiah. That's a real Christian right there. Okay. And that boy right there, that boy on it. Okay. If you want to know what kind of Christian I am, Wendigoon. All right. If you're not a Wendigoon Christian, maybe I should just try to be friends with Wendigoon. But then I would have to hang out with Hunter. See? It's in me too. It's in me too. I don't know, man. At this point, my only friend is my dog. He just looked out the window. And this is the problem with your only friend being a dog, but okay. Anyways. So yeah, I just figured I would come and ask you, like, how, if you wanted to make friends like Wendigoon without stalking him, finding out where he lives and where he goes and what he does and where he gets all his cool stuff from, and then like going to the places and like sitting and waiting for, like stalking, right? Other than that, where are they at? Maybe I should just send this to Wendigoon. Like, Wendigoon, where does thou meetest? Does thou meetest new people, or only the old people from your hood of the children? Do you know a place? Is there a church of Wendigoon? The Wendigang is not a Wendigoon church. Don't tell me that. I don't know, friends. I'm gonna get out of here because I don't know. Did this just end up being a really confusing video about like Christians sucking? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh crap. All right, I gotta go because well, friends, this might be my last video on the channel. Truthfully, I just really think that it's important for all of us to learn how to love like Jesus and be good ambassadors of the Lord. And I don't think most of us are doing a good job of it. There are things that I will probably say and do that bring some shame upon my head, but I will repent and make sure that I don't do it again versus, just saying, hey, it's no big deal to do that and treat people that way because everybody else is doing it. I'm sorry. I just can't handle it. And so if you know where I can meet some people that aren't complete poop heads and they just love Jesus. They just love Jesus. Points that they call him Yeshua. That's what I'm looking for, friends. Let me know. If not, it's cool. I can just be by myself too. The Lord is enough for me, friends. Oh, I may be putting out videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays after this 30-day challenge of me posting as many videos as I possibly can up to the number 30 so that I can stop being afraid to show this. Because why anyone? All right. Okay.